That's the intro.
That's the intro.
Let's just get right into the review.
Great American Bash 2006 took place on July 23rd.
I think that's the best intro we've ever done, by the way.
Yeah, that is. Took place on July 23rd, 2006 from I forgot the name of the arena in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And since this was still during that first brand split, so they still only did
brand exclusive pay-per-views.
And this time we're doing a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. Last time we did Raw.
Yep.
And this time you can actually see the thin, by the way.
Yeah, now you can actually see the Great American Bash card.
By the way, show them who's on the card. So because that's important.
Okay, we have the Great Khali right here.
Yep.
The Undertaker.
Yep.
Mr. Kennedy. Batista.
No, you pointed to Kim Booker.
Batista.
Yep.
Booker. Sharmell here. And Ray.
No, we want to say there's false advertising on that thing.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yep.
But let's get started here. Let's first off talk about the JBL tirade about the fact that they're in the middle of America and we have Spanish announcers.
That was
it's a little uncomfortable.
Yep. JBL this was when because he had like literally just retired from
for the first time.
Yep.
The first time retired.
I wish he'd take retired. But so he went on to become the heel commentator because Taz, which JBL referred to him as a little midget, went to ECW, which we're gonna get to. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
The next video. So it was JBL and Michael Cole now in commentary, and Michael Cole when he's not, you gotta say when he doesn't have Vince in his ear, he's great on commentary.
He's not a bad commentator.
Yep. And then JBL, he's still JBL. I think this is JBL like 2.0. Oh my gosh.
This is Jibble's when he's like allowed to be himself.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
So our first match was the Brian Kendrick and Paul London against the Pitbulls for the WWE Tag Team titles.
You can't call him the Brian. This isn't the Brian Kendrick.
It's just Brian Kendrick.
Yep.
At this point. That's Spanky.
So the reason we didn't really know the reason, but apparently the Pitbulls had been constantly getting the numbers of the tag team champions.
Beating them on SmackDown in a couple of weeks.
Yep. Singles matches and tag matches. Really good tag team match here. Really good opening match. The best spot of the match was when London and Kendrick hit double suicide dives onto the Pitbulls, and the barricade just like goes forward, which looked really cool.
Yep. Paul London when he took this splash under the apron, drop kicked,
and then Brian Kendrick gets the hot tag. I forget the finish.
The finish was they were going for a I think Paul London had I think it was Kid Cash in a sunset flip, but he wouldn't go down. But then Brian Kendrick kicked him.
Yeah.
Give him a drop kick, and London pinned him. And the still champions.
Yeah.
Brian Kendrick and Paul London. As for where they are now,
they became the longest reigning tag champions up until last year. Yeah.
So as for where they are now,
Jamie Noble
is right now an agent.
Kid Cash, I think he's doing indies.
He's doing indies.
He was just in TNA like a couple years ago. So
I think he's retired.
Kid Cash.
I can look that up. Paul London is in Lucha Underground, and Brian Kendrick is obviously.
He's in the cruiserweight. He's now the Brian Kendrick in the cruiserweight division. Would you say Kendrick's a much better wrestler now than he was then, or no?
It's kind of hard to say, but
he was still good then.
Yep. Yeah, he's retired. He retired a couple years ago. 2015. That's like 48 years old.
All right. Really good match.
Yep.
Give it 3.5 stars.
Yeah, I'll give it three. I'll give it 3.5.
Yep.
Great Khali backstage. Daivari wants him to wait for the Undertaker, but the Khali wants to go after Taker now.
He picks up Daivari, and then it just cuts right over to the next match. So we don't know what happens.
We don't know what happens to Daivari.
This is a different Daivari, the right Daivari, not this Daivari we see nowadays. That's a shit Daivari.
All right, Tay Long came out.
We find out that Bobby Lashley failed like a yearly.
He had elevated enzymes in his liver,
which JBL had a lot of fun with on this show.
Oh no, that was the running joke of the show. Every single time every chance he could, he took. Every chance he had to make a joke at it,
he did. Apparently, he didn't know what it was either.
No. He's like, I barely even have a liver. I felt like a liver like Jake Roberts. I barely even have a liver.
Oh, that was bad to say, probably.
Yeah, well, this is 7-6.
Yeah.
Jake was in a bad place at this time.
Yeah. And Bobby Lashley was supposed to face Finley for the United States title, but since he had this injury, he couldn't. Lashley wanted to, but Teddy Long's like, no, you can't.
We want your own long personal help until you sort out this stuff that you're going through.
Yeah.
He was taking some supplements.
Who, Lashley?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, until you get help.
And he says that I can't have you compete tonight, but he promises he will get an opportunity at the United States title
when he sorts out his crap.
Yep. So Lashley takes the walk of shame, and Finley and William Regal come out. This was when they were doing the King's Court, and they were stable together.
Yep.
And Finley's like, we know Lashley's just backing out because he doesn't want to face the real competition of me. So he wants him to declare him the winner by forfeit and still U.S. champion. Teddy Long's not having that.
So he decided to make a singles match.
No, the weirdest part was when Finley's like, give me some skin, Lon.
Yeah. 55-year-old man at the time.
Yeah. And Finley probably like the whitest.
He is the whitest person in the roster.
Yeah. At the time, anyways.
Yeah.
And then
so Teddy Long books him in a match against William Regal for the U.S. belt.
Yep.
The fans were not really into it.
They wanted Lashley.
They wanted Lashley. This was a very how do I put this? This is a very WWE-esque crowd at the time, where they would cheer most of the faces and they boo all the heels. It's a steep crowd actually.
Yeah.
And you find those are very hard to come by now because now they're like ROH crowds.
Yeah.
They're basically every crowd now is like a Ring of Honor crowd.
But they had because if this match was probably had taken place nowadays, they would have gotten.
They would have gotten cheered. It would have been a lot of cheering, a lot of people excited to see that because they were two really good, great wrestlers.
One spot that I liked in the match that you never seen was when they both locked up and they walked up on the outside as well.
They roll outside.
Yeah.
Up. Hornswoggle got involved by chasing William Regal, which that was actually really funny.
Yep.
Because watching William Regal being chased around by a midget.
It was William Regal's reaction to it too. And then later on in the match, William Regal gets bit by Hornswoggle.
Got his boot taken by Hornswoggle.
Well, but that's the time he wasn't called Hornswoggle. He was a little bastard. And Michael Cole would always say, "Look, that's little bastard." And JBL was like, "Come on, he could have parents."
He could have parents. They could be listening right now.
Oh,
I want one of my own.
Hearing that now makes that storyline so really ranked. And then William Regal gets the advantage, but then Finley beats him up in the apron, and William Regal
takes his boot.
Yep. And at first I thought he just came off, but it was using the finish.
It was using the finish by Hornswoggle giving the boot to Finley. Finley used the boot on William Regal. Finley wins.
I think he heals the lobes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This match was fine.
Yeah. The crowd ruined the match.
I don't think this is not a crowd meant for this kind of match.
Yeah. I'd say I'll give it
a 3.25.
Yeah. But then the best part was Hornswoggle tries to come out and celebrate with the title, and Finley says, "Get back in there.
Get out back. Go."
He's like, "Know your place."
Yeah.
That was funny.
Rey Mysterio and Chavo backstage. Chavo telling Rey that he's gonna make dreams come true to them.
Yeah. And one weird quote that came is like, "This was Eddie's dream as well."
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Considering what happened to Eddie.
Yeah.
So
Shane Helms and Matt Hardy.
It was a weird segue.
Yep. Sorry, but I just had to go right to the next match.
Yeah. Matt Hardy. I
think Matt Hardy was really supposed to face Mr. Kennedy on the show,
but there's something that happens.
But Mark Henry, of course, got injured.
Yeah.
Shattered.
So this feud was thrown together. Gregory Helms was originally the Hurricane. He had just unmasked, and then he became Cruiserweight Champion at the Rumble, and he was defending that title left and right. But obviously, because Matt Hardy went too much on the milkshakes and stuff,
he couldn't challenge the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah. And for Matt Hardy, though, this was not the reincarnation he needed.
No, this is not the reincarnation of Shane Helms he needed. No.
And
making.
What?
Hold on a second.
He's getting a call. Should I continue?
Yeah, continue.
So this match was a really good back and forth matchup. Gregory Helms and Matt Hardy start locking up. Matt Hardy gets the advantage throughout the beginning of this matchup. He hits a dive on the outside. Gregory Helms hits a neck breaker on the floor, and he dominates the matchup for a while. He hits a Shining Wizard. He hits a neck breaker off the top turnbuckle, and Matt Hardy, continues to fight through the matchup. Eventually, Matt Hardy is punching him in the corner, up onto the where he just beats him up that spot, and then Gregory Helms throws him face first into the turnbuckle. He rolls him up and holds the tights for the win. Gregory Helms goes over. It makes sense. I'm at least happy back then that the cruiserweight champion was allowed to fight people out of the cruiserweight division, unlike nowadays where they only fight people in the division. And obviously nowadays, Gregory Helms recently just left GFW, and Matt Hardy. Obviously, we just kind of referenced where Matt Hardy is now, but he's back in WWE now. Overall, why don't you break down the match real quick and talk about what you thought of it?
I thought this match was pretty good for a hastily put together match. Spots I liked the swinging neckbreaker from the top rope,
which JBL claimed he taught Gregory Helms.
And he's never gotten a top rope in his life. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I did like Matt's side effect,
which he never
wins with.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that Shane won by rolling the tights.
If Matt Hardy wins with a side effect,
it's like Bubba winning with the Bubba Bomb.
Yeah. Although I think he has before actually. In TNA when he was TNA World Champion. But anyhow, that's a different story.
That's a different topic.
And I just mentioned where they went, so I'll give this match 2 3/4.
2 3/4. Yeah.
And then after this match, the show kind of falls downhill a little bit.
The Great Khali and Daivari backstage in the hallway looking for the Undertaker.
Undertaker just pops up right up to him.
Well, you're looking for me. Well,
he was.
Yeah. And he got Undertaker's ass kicked by the Big Show.
Because Big Show, for some reason, we find out why he was there, but he gets attacked, and Khali only hits 1 kick on him because Khali, I think, has the same.
He has the same thing as Lashley.
Yeah.
So he got no wins with his liver, so that means he can't compete either, which is why Big Show was put in the match instead of Khali.
Big Show was upset about this. JBL was upset about this. Michael Cole was like, Big Show should have even been in here tonight, and I loved it. Like,
correct.
And JBL was like, but this isn't fair. And Michael Cole was like, it's gonna happen. It doesn't matter if it's fair or not. It's gonna happen. I love Michael Cole's reaction. So that's why this is
blatant false advertising.
Yep. So then we had the first ever Punjabi prison match. Undertaker versus the Big Show.
This sucked.
So let's talk about the reason this was happening. We kind of mentioned it, but originally Khali was supposed to be in there.
Khali beat Taker clean with a boot.
Like really quickly too.
Yeah.
Dropped him out. So people were, for some odd reason, in question whether this was the same Undertaker from 6 months ago.
That would be one. Yeah.
Yeah. And Michael Cole, I don't think Michael Cole was.
No.
And the rules. Why don't you explain the rules of the match? Because for the people that have never seen a Punjabi prison match before.
Okay, so there are 2 structures that no one can see through. The first structure, the inner structure, has 4 doors manned by a referee. A wrestler can call for a door to be open for a minute, but if they don't escape in that minute, the door will shut, and it will be shut for good.
Forever.
Yep. But for some reason, you can still escape through the inner structure.
By climbing over it.
Yep. So basically, you're not screwed if you don't get across the door.
Yep.
The second structure is 20 feet tall, has no doors, and you escape by climbing over. Or in this case, go through it. This match is overcomplicated.
Yeah.
This match is dumb.
I'd say this is worse than the Kennel from Hell match because at least that's not overcomplicated.
At least I can laugh at the Kennel from Hell.
This you can't laugh at.
No, and I'd rather them. Okay, how do I say this? They've done 3 of these now. They've done 3 Punjabi prison matches. They've done 2 since this. The first one was Batista versus Khali, which is worse. The only notable spot in that match is when Batista jumps over the other side.
Yeah. And
the one that just happened at Battleground a couple weeks ago with Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton, which also sucked.
Yep.
All 3 of these have sucked, and I wish they don't do this anymore.
And they almost didn't. That's the one. See, everyone loves Jinder Mahal as champion, but
some people do.
But think about it. If Jinder Mahal wasn't champion, didn't get this push,
we wouldn't have a Punjabi prison match.
Yep.
That no one wanted.
There was a reason we didn't have this match for 10 years.
It sucks. It sucks. Okay, guys, I can't. I'm sorry. I know I'm trying to be impartial here, but this match sucks. This match is terrible.
I don't even want to break down this match.
It's plotting. It's boring. They had the makeshift Big Show in there, who's the better wrestler than Khali, so I'm picturing how awful this match would have been with Khali in it. Taker won because he fell through it, through the structure.
Holly
star.
came out. Holly and Devali came out too.
Yeah, I never got over the structure.
Yeah.
Which I would just say, go to the end of just get down and go around the structure, and you'll be able to be in front of him.
Yeah. The funny thing is,
1 star. This match.
No, the funny thing is that they talk about, now when Taker got trapped and there was no doors, now Taker's like scaled 2 structures. He gets through like the first structure.
Like that.
That was real hard, huh?
Yeah, that was really, really hard to do that.
Only good spot in the match was when he threw him through it and with the leg drop through the tape.
Through the table with the weapons.
Yep. Which they were not used.
Which were not used, by the way. And this match just sucked.
1 star.
1 star. Queen Charmel and King Booker in the locker room discussing people trying to take over the world, but the fact that King Booker should become king of the world tonight. 4-way bra and panties matches. Ashley, Jillian, Crystal, Michelle McCool. No one cared.
Yeah.
Nobody cared.
I wonder if it's because of that Punjabi poison match. I'd also count the class.
1.5. I'm being generous.
Because they had to follow that Punjabi poison match.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
No one would have been able to follow that, I don't think.
Okay.
Oh, wait. We should say who won.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Okay, Ashley is a model. Jillian's a model. Crystal's married to Ashley, and Michelle's married to Taker.
Yeah.
Taker and Big Show are still with the company.
Well, Taker's retired.
Yeah, Big Show's soon to be retired.
Hopefully.
Yeah. The Miz interviews Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah. Kennedy! And he says that the reason he challenged Batista was to further his career. Makes sense. Makes sense, actually. I mean, when you challenge the biggest dog in the company.
Yeah.
Miz is now whoever would have thought that the Miz would become a bigger star than Mr. Kennedy did.
What a geek, huh? What a geek.
What a geek the Miz was back then.
Yeah, seriously. He's like, Mr. Now, Mike, this is the time, Mr. Kennedy.
Yep.
Kennedy. I like that name. It's pretty cool.
Yep. And the Miz is just like, but now the Miz is like he's probably actually the most legit person in the company.
Batista versus Kennedy. The only reason why this match happened is because Mark Henry, like I said before, tore his patella tendon and broke his kneecap, which will put him out for 8 months. He was supposed to face Batista tonight.
Well, on that show.
Bill on the show. This match was 7 minutes.
It wasn't bad.
Batista basically dominated the entire time, and Batista lost by taking too much ass.
Yep. There was one spot where Kennedy bladed himself way too much.
Yeah, he got himself good. Either he got busted open hard way, or he bladed himself like right on the top, right in the crown.
Yeah. And he's just busted open. He's bleeding profusely. Profusely. Throughout the whole match. Batista, the blood's even getting on Batista.
Yep. And then after Batista was qualified, he gives him 3 spine busters.
And a Batista bomb.
Big spot of this match, I think, the best part of this match. Kennedy saying, screw this, I'm out of here. And he goes back in the ring and gets speared out of his boots. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's probably a nice spot. But other than that, this match was kind of terrible.
Yeah. And I think they would have like a few more matches on SmackDown. Batista would go for the world title.
I'll give it 2. I'll be generous. I'll give it 2.
And both of them are with the company. I think Kennedy's retired.
Kennedy...
I know he's not wrestling right now.
He's retired, and Batista is obviously...
He's an actor.
He plays with Drax. World Heavyweight Championship match. Rey Mysterio defending his title against King Booker.
Nice. He had a nice long entrance.
12 minutes, actually.
We should have timed it.
Yeah.
I didn't think this was the long entrance.
I thought that was the one at No, SummerSlam's the one that's the long one.
Oh, okay.
SummerSlam is the longest one.
And
they didn't have a car.
So this entrance probably would have just been as long.
Yep.
And overall, good main event.
Pretty good main event. Just 2 really talented wrestlers.
So my favorite spot was Ray's dive on the outside. When Ray went for like his bulldog and Booker
countered it with the side slam.
It doesn't look like that because he gets laid on himself. His wife gets ejected for interfering too much. That always gets a pop for some reason. Can you imagine? Imagine if referee threw out a shoulder. You're out of here.
I can't count. Shit.
And Rey Mysterio and the ref bubble actually was clever.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio was I think gonna give Booker a hurricane run, but Booker just threw him into the ref, knocking out the ref.
Yep.
And JBL pulled a Bobby Heenan. Because he said, look at Rey Mysterio. He knocked out the referee. Yeah. He's like Mario Jannetty, trying to, cowardly Mario Jannetty trying to escape through the window. Look at him. He tried to jump to the window. Look at that coward Jannetty. That's the best part of the whole thing.
Yep.
So then Chavo comes out with a steel chair. He looks like he's going to hit Booker. And he just killed
murdered Rey Mysterio.
He killed Rey. Absolutely
Sent him off the
murdered
snow
him.
with the chair. Booker's reaction was the best. Like he's just covered up like. No, did you see him at first? Like he's covered up like he thought he was gonna. He was gonna hit. And then he gets up.
Go!
And then the referee comes in.
King Booker's champion.
And then Chavo just looked pissed. He looked like that old, angry Mexican guy. And this led.
He looks like Senor Benjamin 20 years ago.
Yeah, he does. And then Ray and Chavo would go.
Program Hardy's references here. Awesome.
Ray and Chavo would have their feud.
Yep.
Ray got hurt, but then he came back.
Yep, and then they finished up the feud.
Yeah.
I thought this match was a really good match. I think the right person won.
Yeah.
And
the show goes off the air with Queen Shamel saying, "Oh hail, King Booker!"
Yeah, and also I want to point out JBL in the beginning of this with when King Booker's come out, he's standing up with his hat on his heart.
Yeah.
He's like, these great people are great. These people are great. Rey Mysterio's music again. Oh, son of a bitch! God damn it! Ruins the moment.
Yep. Overall, though,
I thought this was a thumbs in the middle show pointing up.
The reason I would say that that's probably another 7 out of 10 show actually.
A consistent show except for like 2 matches in a row.
What is a shame is people do remember the show for the but this really isn't that bad of a show.
No,
I'd say it kind of falls apart towards the Pujami Prison match. So like I'd say
the main event.
Yeah, the main event saved the show. I'd say.
Yeah,
because imagine that main event sucked.
We're about to find that out. Guys, we'll be watching December to Dismember.
Yep.
Lord help us. He's never seen the show before.
You got it's what you've all been waiting for.
December to Dismember 2006 review.
Yep. So we're about
us. Okay, Ray is not with I think Ray's gonna come back to WWE and Booker.
Oh, you don't think he's going to? You don't think Jay will go to GFW?
No, I don't. I think he's coming back.
Okay.
All right.
No plugs. No plugs. No plugs. No plugs. No.